Hey, it's been a while since I've spoken to a camera. I hope you have been well. Tonight I had a session with a tantric yoga practitioner who specialises in Shakti energy, or the divine feminine, and we did a couple of different exercises that were about getting me into my body, and I noticed a lot of subtle sensations, some of which disappeared soon after I focused on them, some of which I could grow if I breathed into. It's rainy out there. And I felt energized in quite a sexy way. Like, not sexual, but that same deep cellular pleasure that comes from sexual stimulation. And it was a delight, and I tried to chase it, and no, that's not what you do. You don't chase the sensations. It reminded me of when I used to do Kundalini yoga, and I'd be told to do Mula Bandha and Mula Bandh, and once you kind of built up the energy, it would be quite pleasurable, and then you hold your breath and you'd feel the pleasure, or I'd feel the pleasure building, and I would do what I could to make the pleasure keep building. And I saw tonight how drug-like that behaviour is. It's like trying to control the energy when the energy cannot be controlled. It can only be allowed. And the teacher tonight made the incredibly simple and intuitive point that it's like waves. Shakti energy, or feminine energy, or energy really, is waves that ebb and flow, and when you try and control them, you end up disappointed, or your awakened Kali comes out storming about, chopping off heads. So I've been given homework, and my homework for this week and possibly future weeks is to spend 30 minutes 3 times a week building pleasure within myself without any movement towards release. And it's been suggested I maybe do this in the morning, because if I don't allow myself to kind of release the energy, then I will end up quite stimulated and energized for the day. So I look forward to trying that, and I will do what I can to document how I feel afterwards, so I can monitor my progress, because physical pleasure has been missing from my life for a while. So I have been going for chemical pleasure, which I don't really go for anymore. There's nothing that I really take anymore, other than alcohol occasionally, but that does not lead to pleasure. Food, I suppose, is my chemical pleasure these days. And like flowy pleasure, like juggling and playing music and writing and creating, and that's nice, but they're quite heady pursuits. There's no embodiment of the pleasure, or there's no connection to my body in those things. It's sort of, my body's doing things and I'm allowing it, but the presence or my awareness isn't in how my body feels. It's about how things look or sound. So I am hopefully on the journey to teaching myself how to feel things with my body. And I look forward to you being along on this journey with me. Hey, I just did my first bit of homework for the Tantra practice and practice. It was lovely. Nice to just spend half an hour on myself without any end goal to get to. There was points my mind wandered, and there was I'm running out of battery there. Yeah, there were points that my mind wandered, and points where the pleasure built, and at some of those points I was tempted to build it up in the kind of traditional way that I've always known how, but I stayed focused on my breasts and the rest of my body. So like my skin on my everywhere, my face, my arms, my tummy, my legs, my feet. I kept trying to remember to do the breath, where kind of rhythmic breath, where I breathe in, straighten the spine and clench the milliband or the perineum as I breathe in, and then release with a ah. And when I did that, it sort of energized the energy, or made it tinglier and built it up. It's like breathing it in to my cells, and then breathing it out to my cells afterwards, I suppose. And when the half hour was up, I turned off the music and put on a t-shirt and came to document So I'm gonna let that energy sit in me for now, float around me. And we'll see how today goes. Because it's first thing in the morning. The sky is getting brighter. I'm gonna go have a shower, have some breakfast, and start work for the day.